Hello everyone, we're going to start in 5 minutes. We'll start in 3 minutes. All right. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Solution Challenge. Wel- Welcome to the Solution Challenge info session. Today, we're going to speak about a lot of exciting announcements for this year's Solution Challenge. It is going to be a little different than last year's, so tune in to know the differences and be ready to have that challenge going along. And then, oh, yeah, all right. So today we're going to have to talk about a lot of different areas of the Solution Challenge. First of all, we're going to give a brief overview of the Solution Challenge itself, give you some overview videos of what should you expect from the Solution Challenge this year, let you know about the prizes this year, which, a little secret, is going to be a little more interesting. And we're going to be sharing also the judging criteria, timeline, resources, frequently asked questions, and also a look back into the 2020 Solution Challenge. And I'm happy to say that our DSE, the Developer Student Club at UC Davis, has had one person that was formerly an honorable mention at the Solution Challenge. So I'm sure you can all do it. And to give a brief introduction, my name is Abdullah Hashim. I'm the DSE lead of the UC Davis. And I have with me Adi, who's coming in from the University of Arizona. Hi, Adi.
Hey Abdullah, thanks for having me. Hey guys, I'm the DSE lead at the University of Arizona. I'm here to talk a little bit more about the Solutions Challenge with Abdullah and hopefully get you all fired up for it.
And let's also introduce our guests for tonight. We have Danny coming in. Hello, Danny.
Howdy, y'all, or should I say howdy from Austin, Texas. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm really excited here to, first of all, get to meet some amazing students who are interested in Solution Challenge, answer y'all's questions, and maybe at the end, help critique any ideas that you may have. So in our presentation here today, as we go through, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, but we'll also have a Q&A at the end to where we can all interact. So I look forward to answering each and all of your questions. Get your thinking caps on because there's a lot to digest here. And we're really looking forward to seeing what you can build using Google's resources in 2021's Solution Challenge.
Exactly. And what would you like to tell for students that are feeling a little skeptical about joining in a solution challenge like this? It might look too big on them.
Yeah. So first of all, what I would say is not to worry. Everyone has started off, taking that first step in big project building and things of that nature. We have tons of resources from Google's end to help you, whether you've gone through a full developer cycle, application building before or not. And we're going to have amazing resources to help you use Google's APIs, services, and tools to, to build these projects. Furthermore, we're going to connect you with mentors who are going to be there to guide you through this process as you take your first steps in building and using different applications or tools that you may have not gotten the chance to do before. So what I would say at this point is you've taken a great first step by being here. Don't be intimidated. We have the resources to back y'all up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what y'all can build because the sky's the limit.
Honestly, yeah, that's honestly a great talk. Thanks, Danny, for this. I believe, yeah. So this has been something that we've seen around so much, and I feel like students need to have that kind of confidence in what they do. I've mentioned that we've had someone who have reached an honorable mention from our university, so I believe anyone could do it, such as our friend did it previously.
Yeah, and I'll be here, backstage until the end. So happy to come back up and answer questions if y'all have them after the presentation.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Danny.
We'll see y'all later.
See ya. Goodbye. All right, so let's dive deep into this. And so the Google Developer Solution Challenge this year is to solve one of the United Nations 7 Sustainable Development Goals, of course, using Google technology. And these development goals were created in 2017, right? And they were all agreed upon by all 193 United Nations member states. And this is mainly to end poverty, ensure prosperity, and protect the planet. We have seen a lot of interesting NGOs and a lot of different people around the world has been creating solutions for many of those 17 development challenges. And we believe that we could also do something towards that. And therefore, I want to give you a little introduction about the 17 SGAs. And so have a look at this video. The sound might be off. Okay, I think there's a problem with sound. Yeah, okay. right? It was such an interesting video. I've heard that there's no sound, so it was just music. There wasn't much being said. But yeah, so those are the 17 sustainable development goals that we'll be working towards through our Google technology. And that's why we need to make sure that we'll be able to create a good, positive change in this world. And so we have talked a lot about the solution challenge, mainly highlighting the word solution. The solution never comes without a problem, right? So the best thing is to clearly define your problem that you're trying to solve. Skipping over that problem definition step and trying to make a solution right away, it would make the solution messy and confusing. And I would also add to that it would lose direction. So we still have a plenty of time before the solution challenge, and that will go over in next slides. And so let's focus on finding problems and defining them together, mainly so we can be able to help figure out a solution, a well-rounded response to whatever problem that we come up with. And after you find a problem in your community, make sure to ask some good questions. Knowing the problem by asking what is the problem itself, who is dealing with it, why does it appear, and why does it happen? And also situational problem like how does it begin, and what would a complete solution look like? Questions like these would help draw the bigger picture in your mind and be able to help you create not just temporary, but also everlasting solutions in those communities. And we have seen many of those solutions being implemented around the world through the solution challenge. So you could be one of those that help create a positive change in the world wherever you are. Forming a team. You can have up to 4 members in your team. Of course, we recommend having all 4 members because you can have as many smart brains as possible. And I'm sure many of you have a lot of bright ideas. So sit down together and have a talk. I'm sure you could all figure something out. And a common advice is to elect 1 member as a team leader, and that would be able to help coordinate the team, make sure that the team has a vision and a set milestones. That helps you, as a team, to better work together and be able to have a focused agenda every meeting and through the timeline into submitting to the solution challenge. We have a set date for the solution challenge deadline, and that's why it's very important to create that kind of milestones so that you would be ready on time. Of course, we could not anticipate any kind of movements and timelines as we expected previously, but make sure to be ready on time. I would say, as what Danny usually says, a day before the due date is a really good kind of habit to have, so that you never know what could happen when something. And so the rules. The rules would be you must be over 18, have 4 team members, as I mentioned previously, and become a DSC member of any university. And we'll add more to that. You should not be like a part of that university. You could be allocated to a university close to you and use at least 1 Google technology. The project must be built during the academic year, and you could use the bit.ly link over here or the QR code to register. I would send hold for a minute if you want to copy the link. All right, awesome. Yes. And on that link, you would also be able to register and be able to, all right. And we'll be able to interact with other solution challenge students through Parthian, which we'll talk about it later. I believe Danny has had it in the chat, so you could all just copy it from there. And so the prizes. And to talk more about the prizes, I would like to invite Adi to the stage. Adi?
Hey, Abdullah. I hope you can hear me. I know you were having some audio issues before.
Yeah, okay, that's
awesome. So for everybody who's interested in taking part in the Solutions Challenge, you are obviously expected to be given prizes at the end if you're one of the finalists. And so if you're one of the top 50 teams from around the world, you're going to receive customized mentorship, and that's going to be from Googlers who will help you take your project to the next level. So, and once we talk about the timeline, that will be a little bit more clear. But top 50 finalists, you're going to get mentorship from Google to take your project to the next level. Beyond that, once you're in the top 50 and you make it to the top 10, you're going to get a 1-year subscription to Pluralsight, some more mentorship, some Google swag, and the opportunity to actually showcase your project on a blog post on or live on the Google Dev YouTube channel. And if you make it to the top 3, you're going to receive a Chromebook, a private meeting with a Google executive, and a feature on I believe the Google developers blog. You will also get other opportunities as a part of this challenge. You will get to network with Googlers, you'll get to network with experts from different companies, and you'll get to use Google technology for free, which is a huge thing because usually they're paid. And so let's talk about the judging criteria so that you guys can actually make it into the top 50. You roughly have 2 categories that you'll be judged on. One is impact, and then it's technology. In terms of impact, you're going to be judged on whether you defined a clear problem statement, like Abdullah was talking about before, which is that you do need a very clear problem statement to come up with a good solution. And remember, that is going to be an important thing you will be judged on. You're also going to be judged on how effectively you solved that problem that you identified. Is there evidence that your solution can be scaled up? Because this isn't like a classroom project, which you're just done with once you code a little bit. This is something slightly more long-term. And so scalability is something that will matter. This slide deck will be, I believe, made available to everybody after this event, so you can always review these points. In terms of technology, some of the main points are, are you implementing Google technologies just for the sake of implementing Google technologies, or was there a real need for it? You have to show, because you do need at least one Google technology in your solution. And so you need to show that that was relevant, that was important, and that it has a clear purpose within your project. You need to show that you made effective technical decisions within your team, like a real software developer group would. And your solution, you do, give me 1 second. I think my internet's lagging. All right, I think I'm back. And you do need to make sure that your video demonstration, which is what you submit as your demo to the solution challenge, that needs to have a working project. You need to show that it's working and that it's solving the problem that you identified. Let's move on. And this is the timeline that I was talking about earlier. So we'll go over joining a developer student club if you haven't already. But overall, the steps are: you join a DSC, you register for the solution challenge. The link was in the chat earlier. I'm sure somebody can drop it again. Form a team, and I believe you have to individually register for the solution challenge, and then you form the team. Select one of the 17 UN sustainable goals that Abdullah was talking about before. Identify a solution for that goal, and then learn and build and iterate. Basically, talk to your community, figure out what the problem is, what a good way to approach it is, and so on and so forth. That's basically what steps 6 through 8 are. Step 9 is you record a video of your solution, what it does, upload it. That's by March 31st. But as Abdullah said before, and as Danny always says, submit it a day before the due date. So ideally, target March 30th, not March 31st, just in case there's issues with the submission process. March 30th is when you're expected to submit your demo. And then the top 50 finalists will be chosen, after which those 50 finalists enter into the deep mentorship phase. That deep mentorship phase is going to take those 50 finalists' projects to the next level. And then among those people, you'll have the top 10 chosen, the top 3 chosen, and the winners announced. We have some videos here. Feel free to come back. Once the slide deck has been shared with y'all, feel free to come back and actually watch the 3 videos. We're just going to play this second video to go over some ideas that you could possibly think about and how you might approach these ideas. So let's play that video now. It looks like there is no audio.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
Yep.
Yeah, there seems to be an issue with audio.
Sorry, guys.
Yes. Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah, it should be working now.
Okay, let's try that again then.
Club's solution challenge is to solve for one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technology. Citing the official United Nations website, these goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. During this video, I will show you how you can research these goals and brainstorm ideas for your solution challenge project. So starting with the official UN SDG site, the first thing I suggest you do is click on each of the goals and read the challenges each goal faces. For example, Goal 1, No Poverty. This page will give you a good primer to the challenges we face on our road to no poverty. And down at the bottom of the page, you can take a look at the facts and figures and the breakdown of targets defined for each goal. There's also an infographic you can check out to get a high-level overview of the current state of things as it relates to the specific goal. Go over the rest of the goals to get familiarized with them and see if any ideas come to mind about solutions you can build using technology. If ideas do arise, write them down to brainstorm further later. Another great site that can really help you generate solution ideas is DIAL, which stands for Digital Impact Alliance. We're going to focus on two tabs, SDGs and the building blocks, but I urge you to look at the other tabs. They're just as useful for your ideation stage. Okay, so let's look at the SDGs tab and take a look at Goal 2, Zero Hunger. This goal has 8 targets, which help you focus on solving a certain aspect of the goal. For example, Target 1, which summarizes as end hunger by ensuring access by all people to good, healthy food all year round. Okay, so immediately ideas start to spark. Maybe you can build a charity app that either accepts donation-safe healthy food or accepts monetary donations dedicated to providing food. Or maybe you can build a volunteering platform that brings people together to help the community at risk. Brainstorm with your team and see what aspects of these problems you are familiar with, or maybe you have access to communities who are dealing with the challenge. Having personal knowledge of a problem will allow you to design solutions which are far more effective and easier to adopt. Now, let's take a look at Goal 10, Reduced Inequalities. Target 1, achieve and sustain income growth for the bottom 40% of the population at a rate higher than the national average. What a well-defined target. Okay, so now you can start brainstorming again on how you can achieve progress through technology here. Maybe you can build an app or a platform that educates people on financial and saving strategies. Or maybe you can help small businesses grow through education apps or e-commerce and marketing apps that are specific to your community. For example, in my community, the elderly struggle with finding online educational content, and I might consider building an elderly-friendly educational platform. This platform can potentially provide the elderly with equal opportunities at learning new skills and at increasing their income. You'll see that going through these web pages will spark many ideas in your mind. Write them down and discuss them with your team. See which idea really strikes a chord with your ability and your belief. You'll be working on this for a while. You want to solve a goal that you are passionate about or that's really close to home. In the next video in the series, I'll be going through a demo case study. I'll pick up an idea and simulate the steps my team and I will take towards a successful demo submission. I hope the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals inspire you to solve for your community in a meaningful way. We can't wait to see all of your demo submissions.
That was a great video. And just to reiterate some of the points from that video, take some time to actually identify the problem before you jump into coding your solution. You should register for the solution challenge and then really spend a good amount of time defining your problem clearly. I know we've talked about this before, but that really is an important, critical step to making a great solution.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. The
I'm
mission
Sharon
of this
Daniels.
year's
Right. And we understand that some of you might not be familiar with all the technologies you need for your solution right off the bat, but that's okay. Google gives these things called codelabs, technologies like Flutter, TensorFlow, Google Assistant, Google Cloud. And based on what you need, you can always go to the Google Codelabs website, just literally type in codelabs on Google, go to the website, and you'll find in an absolute ton of tutorials that'll take you from the most basic level of a technology to like more advanced applications of it. And you can use those self-paced code labs to learn what technology you need for the solution that you're building. And this is a resource like I highly recommend you make use of. It's free, it's available to everybody, and it's just a great way to get started. Finally, I'd like to invite Abdullah back on stage to talk about the design sprint kit, which is something Google provides to sort of help you get started on this. Abdullah?
Hello. Yes. Thank you, Adi, for inviting me back to the stage. I hope my voice is audible. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And let's dive deeper into this. And so one popular method that you can use to identify your solution challenge is an exercise that was previously made by Google Ventures. This exercise is mainly really nice if you want to have that really fast startup, because it's a 5-day exercise that is very flexible. So you do not need to attend some of the events or any documents that you need to do. Basically, you could just like jump in right away. After we share those links and slides with you, we could jump in right away on understand, which is understanding your problem, trying to map your journey through it out, and then be able to have a kind of user interviews that will give you a better idea of what's going on. And then you need to design your principles by defining your success metrics and signals. By having that kind of definition, you will be on the right track onto building your own solution challenge. Of course, you have some fun events as sketching with Crazy Eights, then deciding the solution challenge based on those sketches, prototyping it, and validating it. Of course, we'll be jumping more into this as we go through the design days, but we believe that this is a really nice opportunity for you and your team to go over these kind of stuff at your own pace in a just 5-day exercise. That will give you a lot of time to work on your project, and so make sure to jump in on that. There's also an online support and mentorship. That online support platform has over 100+ Google developer experts. And so that's a great opportunity for you and your team to be able to connect with those experts and get technical questions answered on specific Google products. As well as you can also get some feedbacks on ideas from mentors and peers. And of course, technical advice on building your project. And so once you register for the solution challenge, you'll get an email with instructions on how you can join that online community. It's a big online community where you can all share in your ideas, your concerns, or your technical questions, and you'll probably have them answered by one of our Google developer experts or the 5,000 plus students that will be on that platform. And so how to request and redeem Google Cloud credits? Basically, register for the solution challenge at that link. Be sure to mention that you're interested in using Google Cloud for your solution. Of course, review your country's eligibility and crowd credits. But with a team of 4 people, make sure that only one student from your team fills out the new Google Cloud redemption form, because if we have multiple entries from the same team, that would disqualify you from redeeming credits. Also, we have linked over here one of the best practices for you to use your Google Cloud credits efficiently. And that would help you more into how to get started on your project. And if you want to learn a certain tool or a certain idea that you want to be implemented in your own project. And so, of course, there are frequently asked questions. We're going to have our own Q&A session at the end of this session. But also, one of the main questions that we're going to hear is that, can my solution solve a problem outside the scope of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals? Yes, we understand that it was very widely open in previous years, but for this year, we require that your submitted solution should solve at least one or more of the 17 CDGs. There are many of them. You'll probably have your solution at least be able to solve at least one of the 17 CDGs. So when you submit your solution, please review all of the 17 CDGs to understand which CDG your solution is focused on and what CDG targets you looking to solve. And so one solution or team, the other question we get is if one solution or team submit with multiple submissions, if they're contributed to both projects. The terms and conditions for this solution challenge is that there's only one entry per person, so that each student can only be a part of one submission. Can I still participate in solution challenge if there's no DSC at my university? That's a great question. And that's what I mentioned at the beginning when I said that you do not have to be at that specific university to join the Developer Student Club. You can join the DSC community through the DSC event platform, which Adi is going to go over later. So we recommend you then reach out to the DSC lead that is closer to your place for guidance to know how to join and form a team with their community. Of course, given the implication of social distancing, our ability to test with users was impacted. So judges, of course, would consider this because this includes the problem in ability to meet as a team, ability to have users test the solution, and the lack of internet access in some of the areas, or not even having the proper environments due to the displacement from college campuses. There are the extended frequently asked questions list on the page. And if you do not have any question below, you can ask us at the end of this session or even ask through Patreon that you're going to get the link to once you sign up. And so we've had many DSC Solution Challenge winners in the past few years. Do you want to start, or do you want to hear out one about a specific one? There is one about Corona AI coming in from the United States. You can drop that in the chat. I'm going to have a look at that if there is something that looks interesting to you. Which one do you all want to watch? Okay. I've seen Adi been interested in Corona AI. Should we go with that? All right, awesome. So we're gonna play the Corona AI video.
Corona AI, creating technology for change, because it is time to create technology that helps our doctors. What we did was create a band filled with electrodes that once put on the patient's chest, create images that can then connect to a computer screen for easy access. This computer screen can easily be connected to any dashboard that is accessible by a doctor without the doctor having to be in the same room. Our solution provides doctors with a mechanism that allows them to detect which patient is in a more severe condition and how to allocate their resources efficiently. Our machine gives instantaneous results, is portable, and is much, much cheaper compared to the existing methodologies today. This concept is based on electrical impedance tomography. What this does is it creates a tomographic image because of the intersection points of the different electrodes. As you can see, each red circle in this image is one electrode that emits a tiny small amount of current, because of which there is an equipotential change that all the other electrodes face. And at each intersection, it comes together to form a tomographic image. Coupled with our machine learning algorithms, this image is then turned into a 3D illustration of the human lung. With this information, we are able to extract what the lungs look like when the patient is breathing, and therefore are able to detect what parts of the lung are affected and any progress in the patient's condition based on the scan from the previous day and the scan that's been done today. Doctors no longer need to bring patients out of their wards and take them to do a CT scan, and now they too can practice social distancing. It's time to use technology to help the doctors and nurses who are working so hard to help us. It's time for Corone AI.
Sounds like a very interesting project. And the music was really catchy over there. So just to check how everyone's doing on the live stream, did you notice anything that has changed in my kind of view? I might have been missing something on my head. Yeah, it is a very impressive kind of project in order to understand how Corona is doing by just having a band that has been worn around the patient's chest. And that, of course, uses electrodes in order to extract real-life images of the lungs and convert it to monitor. The doctor can examine patients without being near them. So such solutions are really impressive and could definitely do a big change either in the medical community or in other kind of communities around the world. And that's why we're really excited to see what you can all do with the 17 CDGs. Yeah, and the thing that I was missing on my head is my headphones. I think that was the reason of the echo. All right, and so to continue, the music is now stuck in my head. All right, to continue this further, we want to share with you what the participants have said in 2020, mainly for Android, developing an Android app from Studio is so easy and enjoyable. Android Studio's new features, including Flash Run and custom layout, helped us to build an app faster, easier, and better. We developed our app with the aid of Google codelabs, which are useful and easy to follow. You could see that many of the participants have said in 2020 have found either using codelab or attending one of our sessions that are related to Android, Flutter, Firebase, TensorFlow, GCP, would make this event a lot easier and more entertaining. So make sure and look out for events like these at our event pages, which you're going to be exposed to in a minute. But what the main thing that we should think about is that how could I learn some new technology and be able to implement it in a way that will affect the community positively? We also have the Solution Challenge Demo Day, which will be live on YouTube on August 26th, which was live on YouTube on August 26th, 2020. And in that event, we showcase the top 10 winners with their solution. Of course, there's going to be also a 2021 Solution Challenge Demo Day that would have the top 10 finalists too. And so always have a look on that. We're going to share those links with you. So if you are still skeptical on how Solution Challenge would look like, I would highly recommend you get on those links and have an idea of what it looks like. Yes, Dr. W, $1 billion idea. I agree. Oh, okay. And to speak more about how to register with DSC, I would like to invite Adi to the stage. Adi?
Hey, let me see if my screen can be shared. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys, I'm if you're not already registered with UC Davis, what you'd want to do is come to ucdavisdsc.com, and that will bring you to this website, and you can click this big blue button here to become a member. If, however, you are not a UC Davis student, or and you want to just find the university closest to you, then what you would do is go to dsc.community.dev. That will bring you here. You can see there's a solution challenge thing right there. And scroll down and search for a city, country, or region. Here you can find the DSC that's closest to you. So for me, it's the University of Arizona, and I would say the University of Arizona, for example. Click that. That's going to bring you to the DSC page for the university. And usually this would be a big blue button that says join, which you can click, and you will become a member of that DSC community. You can see that events will be posted like this. In fact, I can bring up the UC Davis community page if you guys aren't already familiar with it. You can see that events links back to their page, and you can similarly click the join button here to become a member. This is the event you're attending right now. You can see that there's other events coming up. Feel free to go to this website, sign up at UC Davis or the University of Arizona or your closest DSC, and register for some events, especially if you're interested in the solution challenge. I think we can bring us back up. And let me see. All right, that's just what we already went over. This is the timeline. We're currently at the info session stage. I believe UC Davis is going to have a design day, and there's going to be technical workshops to help you guys, work through the solution challenge. So keep your eye out for those events. Those are coming up. And I'd like to invite Abdullah and Danny back on stage. It's time for the Q&A session. So
Howdy,
you guys.
Yeah, so that was an amazing presentation. I learned a lot about Solution Challenge for 2021, as well as some of the resources that are going to be provided to y'all. One of the things I did want to just briefly mention about the DSC community website as well. Other chapters may be hosting events which could benefit y'all in your journey as well, right? So don't just join, your individual community and think there's no other value in this platform. Go to our website, dsc.community.dev, and you can actually search for events across the world which are pertaining to specific technologies that you're looking for assistance with, right? So whether that be Google Cloud Platform, whether that be Firebase, TensorFlow, you name it, I'm sure there's an event, albeit virtually, that you can attend and learn from.
Yes, of course. The best thing about having the DSC community platform is that you're a part of a bigger DSC community. You're not just restrained to your own university, and so you get to pick and choose for DSC events happening around the world. Whether you're an early bird that want to watch solution challenges and otherwhere else around the world, or if you're late and you would love to have an idea of how's it like and what is going on the East Coast, you could always do that during that using that community dev platform. You can just sign up, you'll get email notifications, and you'll get it on your calendar so you can join in easily.
Yeah, I cannot recommend enough to all of y'all on this call to go to our website, right? The Solution Challenge website. I'll drop it in the chat for y'all now. All of the information that's been shared and is going to be linked on the slide deck is also there, right? As well as additional resources that you may, be looking to grab. So definitely check it out. All of the criteria and everything you'll need is there. I would even encourage all of y'all to venture over to the terms and condition tabs and check out all of the specifics, right? One of the things that you should all get in the habit of is, making sure to read terms and conditions before you just, sign up for anything. Sorry, I know dad moment, but it's very important, right? And in these terms and conditions, we outline everything that you could potentially, go through in this process, right? Including intellectual property or anything like that. So if you have questions after, reviewing the terms and conditions, happy to answer them. I will just say one of the things that, comes up is what I mentioned, the intellectual property. Google is not looking to take y'all's, hard work or projects from you. We are just looking to, elevate and help give y'all a platform to step off of, right? So any projects, any code that y'all build in this solution challenge 2021, the rights are yours, right? So not to worry there. The other thing is, even if you use our resources to build it, that doesn't give us a claim. We are just here to help y'all kind of take those first steps.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that could be a main question that would come up usually with students, and that we always take care of your own hardware, and you should be appreciated for it, of course. Yeah, and the solution challenge is mainly we're kickstarting it now, and we have started. The link itself has started 3 days ago, so I think you could all sign up whenever you feel like to. But I would highly recommend that you get the team together, have an idea of what kind of solution that you want to have right before the signing up the team itself. Because either if you have an idea or if you set up the team, it will be an easier process for you. Because we do tend to ask what kind of solution that you want to be building towards. And so it is vital that you do have at least an idea of what kind of thing that you want to have. Also, if you have like a slight idea but you don't know whether you should do it or not, I would highly recommend you sign up for the page. And then once you get on that platform with everyone in it, with all the other students and all the other developers, Google developers, they would be able to better assist you once you need any help, or if you want to speak more about it to other people.
Yeah, and while we wait for some more questions to come through, there were some things that I think were very important about Armand's video that we played earlier. I kind of just want to circle back to. Armand mentioned going to the UN Sustainable Goals, the 17 that we've mentioned quite a few times here, and kind of working backwards, right? Looking at these topics for inspirational ideas, and then forming a team, sharing these ideas with the team, and coming up with a plan of how the technology is available to y'all could ultimately build amazing solutions. One of the things I also want to kind of double click on here is I'm sure many of y'all have participated in hackathons or built projects for classes. This is similar to that. But what we want you to do is, not just jump into your coding, right? Really take the time to design and think about the reasons you're implementing the technologies, right? Some of the best solutions, the best products in the world, they're very simplistic. They're not overly complicated. The reason they are what they are is because they solve the need of the end user, right? So kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at these goals, when you're thinking about, a type of idea to take a first step on, right? You want to keep that end user in mind, and you want to really not have one idea and then stop thinking, right? The brainstorming idea should be ever flowing and continue until that team is formed and a consensus is reached, right? So don't be afraid to continue to brainstorm. Don't be afraid to kind of ditch an idea if it winds up not panning out after a little bit more thought. This is a great opportunity for y'all, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. The other thing I do want to mention briefly is you can bring projects that you've already worked on even before January 12th of 2021, right? In this solution challenge, we're actually allowing any student to bring a project they've worked on from this academic school year. So that's from May 2020 really through the end of Solution Challenge 2021. So if maybe there was something you started on, that you're like, wow, I really think this could be a great idea to bring it back and kind of polish it up a little bit with some new ideas, go for it, right? We want to help nurture y'all's ideas. So all you have to do is share.
Exactly. And also there's a lot of projects that we work on during workshops. So maybe you could take that as kind of a reference point and then push it even more. So you could have that slight apps that we create during our projects or during the class that we've done, and then maybe expand it to something even more. So let's say, for example, the RSVP app for Firebase can push that even more and help like poor communities into order to in a way that would make their life a lot easier in a way or another. So anything could be applied to the 17 CDGs, but what I think is the main I would say topic over here is being creative. Anything could be applied basically to anything as long as it serves a good purpose. And so we think it would mainly be a kind of creativity challenge. Yeah.
I see a question in the chat from Dr. W. Can our projects become startups if we want to? Danny, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. I would love it if one of these projects eventually became a business or a startup. One of the things that we ultimately wanted to show students when it came to solution challenges, y'all aren't as far away from your end goals of maybe being a software developer or an entrepreneur or a developer in the real world as you may think. So absolutely, you are able to go ahead and spin these off. If that's something you want to do, right? When you look at our judging criteria, we're kind of leading you to almost think of this and approach this as if it was a small business, right? We want you to have the product in place to where if you want to take those next steps after the project, solution challenge, has ended, you absolutely can. I know there were some students last year who participated, who were exploring, continuing working on the projects, working on potentially bringing it to a launch, if you will, right? I can't say I know exactly where they stand at this point, but as you could see from the current AI video, some of these projects are amazing, and I would imagine that some of these, may become available to you in the future.
Yes, and there's always a place to expand. And all of our projects are mainly catered to students that want to grow up as a developer or as entrepreneurship. And so getting that kind of tools that we share with everyone would help you all becoming a better individual, coming in on the line. And there's a lot of open source projects. I think Adi wants to speak about them.
Oh, no. So there's a question in the chat by Haley. Do we need our projects to be open source? I am not sure. You guys know?
Yeah, so we don't really have restrictions in place on all of those things. If you want to use certain open source components for your solutions, that's absolutely fine. Just understand that we are going to have y'all submit your repositories of code so we can see what y'all built versus what you're just utilizing from open source. If something's out there that makes sense, that's absolutely fine, right? Just remember, part of the criteria is that you have to use one or more Google product, service, API, tool, you name it. Everything else is essentially fair game.
Yes. Yeah. There's always a way to expand. And yes, someone wants to say something?
I was just going to say, if you don't believe me, you can always go read the terms and conditions for yourself.
Of course. Yes. And as someone mentioned previously in the chat, they're pretty short. So you can just have a quick read. It would not be that long, but you get the full picture of what we collect and what we don't when it comes to terms and conditions. Right. And so are there any other questions?
I have a question for y'all, if that's okay.
That's of course okay.
And of course, obviously the audience as well. Are you excited about this?
Oh yes, I'm really excited.
Definitely.
I'm really excited because I've signed up myself, so I'm really excited.
Excellent. That makes me happy to hear. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to this year is, since we're more in a virtual world, right? I'm going to have the opportunity to actually connect more in the learn and build phase with students who are participating and joining these, embarking on this challenge together. So y'all have taken a great first step by being here. If your friends miss this info session, it'll be made available after. Get them to join the chapters, brainstorm, form some teams, join the upcoming workshop events, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see me there.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, Danny will be hanging around. If you also need any questions, you can also add him on Twitter, I believe. Maybe, yeah, I think we didn't have that in the slides. But
I'll drop it in the chat for y'all if you want to give me a follow. I'll also drop my LinkedIn there for y'all. Feel free to connect with me. If you do well in Solution Challenge, maybe I'll endorse some skills of yours as well. So not only here from the Google developers team are we here to provide resources, mentoring, motivation, and more, but we're also going to endorse these skills that you're showing us, right? So don't leave just yet. I got to grab some links.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, and does anyone have any kind of suggestion, maybe another idea that they want to talk about? We're always ready, and we always endorse everyone having some kind of idea that they would like to share with us. No, I see some people waiting for them links.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. My little computer is like not happy with me.
Yes, and with the virtual world, we believe that you'll be able to do a lot more than just during events, because I know when it was in person events, you would have to physically move to the location and be able to attend the events. But now with a click of a button, you can always sign up and have an idea of what is coming up. And a great way to do that is to sign up on the dsc.community.dev, because you do get notifications from when the event is about to start.
All right, as promised, my links are in the chat. Feel free, if you would like to add, follow. I would love to connect with y'all, and I would love to hear how these projects are going.
Yes, I see there is another question from Dr. W. Can our projects have more emphasis on the mechanical aspect instead of being software based?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I would say you should check out some of the top 10 winners from last year. Corona AI was a good example of how they used a little bit of hardware, but a lot more software. I would just remember that a lot of the question, hey, it's fine, man. You can ask as many questions as you want. Totally fine. The other thing I'm curious about is that Dr. W from Doctor Who, or is it something else? Anyway, back to my original response here. You can absolutely focus more on the mechanical end than not, but I would absolutely encourage y'all to not sleep on the software aspect. A lot of what we're going to be looking on is how you implement certain aspects from Google's technologies end. There's not going to be a lot of hardware specific that we can really work on there. Now, there are some very interesting ideas you could use, with actions on Google Assistant and things like that. So I would definitely check out some of those codelabs there. That would be a great starting point. I know personally that actions on Google and the creation of these new assistant models can be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. Dang it. Wasn't Doctor Who. Okay, well, that makes me sad, but you should go watch it because it's an amazing science fiction show, and who knows, maybe you'll get some inspiration from it.
Oh, yes. And coming back to the idea of actions at home using Google Assistant, we might actually have an event like that. We are in talks with some of the teams inside, so maybe look out for that.
I can speak from assistance. It's a lot of fun. But y'all, if we don't have any other questions, we've already taken enough of your time on a Friday. We really appreciate y'all being here. Any final questions before we let you go?
Oh, 7 a.m.
Oh, well, pardon me. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, if you don't mind, which region are you joining us from? I believe that would be like Middle East. 7 a.m. Somewhere in the Middle East, I think. Probably. Yeah. And are there any other questions that you might have? All right, that's awesome. I just woke up after prayer at 7 a.m. Oh yeah, I meant like which country, which region. But yeah, it's probably, I know the region, the Middle East is around 10 to 13 hours behind. So because I was there, so the time difference is 12 hours. And so I think thank you for joining us so early. From Pakistan. Yeah. Thank you for joining us so early. I hope that you have joined our event and got to learn a lot more about like what the solution challenge is and how you can join, and a lot of benefits that you get by joining our solution challenge. And so it is really exciting to see you all coming in from around the world. Time is 8 p.m. where Danny is at Texas. It is 6 p.m. in California, and surely we'll connect again. Sounds awesome. Yes, Danny, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to say thank you again for having me, and I look forward to connecting with all of y'all soon. You have my LinkedIn and Twitters. Until next time.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great day.